Hey, it's Alex with Lover Fighter Writer, and in this video I'm going to explain exactly what email autoresponders are, why they're important, and I'm going to demonstrate a simple 3 email autoresponder strategy which you can easily model and customize according to your needs. To clarify, autoresponders, which can also be described as email automations or email campaigns or welcome emails, and a variety of other names, are email messages that are sent to your subscriber's inbox automatically when they sign up for your email list. So if someone's on your website or on your app and they put in their email address, generally what will happen is they'll get a confirmation email that says, did you subscribe to this list? Because anyone could just put in their email. And then if they click on the confirm email button, then they will be subscribed to your list and they'll receive the first email in the autoresponder. And that can be right away, or it can be a little while later. I usually do it right away, but we'll get into different options there. And an autoresponder email is different from a newsletter email, which is what we typically call emails that are sent to your entire list or to large segments of your list that have been on your list for some time. And newsletters are what most people seem to think about when they think about email marketing. And this was kind of surprising to me because autoresponders are extremely important and they tend to have the highest open and click-through rates of any emails. And that's because when someone signs up for your email list, they've just given you information, they're expecting an email, there's probably something in that email that they want, like a lead magnet or a coupon code, and so they're much more likely to open those first few emails and to click on links in them and to really engage with them. So if you don't have an autoresponder strategy in place, then you're probably just leaving money on the table. And I've been researching a lot of Canadian e-commerce websites recently. And generally what I do when I'm looking into brands like that is I will follow them on social media and I'll sign up for their email list. And most of the stores that I'm going to, most of the online stores that I'm visiting, they have prominent social media links on their website, and you can go to their social media pages and they're posting 3 or 4 times a week. But then their email sign-up form is like buried in the bottom of their menu, and they're not offering a lead magnet or a discount or anything like that. It's just kind of there. And then when you sign up, you don't receive an autoresponder series. You just go on to their list, and then you receive their next newsletter in a week or 2 weeks or whenever they send it. And I think that SaaS businesses and businesses that sell online tend to be a little bit better about this because they tend to understand online marketing a little bit more. But I'm seeing a lot of e-commerce businesses that just don't really have email autoresponders in place. So I thought that would be a good place to start with this. And whether you're selling e-commerce or you're selling SaaS or you're doing affiliate marketing or really any other type of business that sells online at all, email marketing is really critical. And even if you're like a local service business, you can still use email marketing in some situations. But usually for local service businesses, you're just going to want to try and get people to call you or contact you directly in some other way. So you don't necessarily always need to use email marketing for a lot of local businesses like plumbers and electricians and things like that. But even for those businesses, email marketing does have its place. And for anyone who sells online, like e-commerce, SaaS, email marketing is actually very important. And autoresponders are arguably at least as important as newsletters, quite possibly more so because they really increase the rate at which leads convert to customers. So I've written out a little 5-step strategy here, but before we get into that, I just wanted to mention that I am planning on doing a number of upcoming videos about email marketing and copywriting for email marketing and how to use email marketing and cold email to get clients. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe to the channel, and there will be a link in the description where you can visit a landing page and get a PDF list of my favorite copywriting tools, and then you'll be on my email list. And then I'll email you whenever I'm putting out a relevant video. Also, most but not all of the software that I'm going to mention in this video, I'm an affiliate for. And for the ones that I am an affiliate with, you can find my affiliate links to those products in the description in case you want to try them out. Now, as I mentioned, different businesses and different offers should have different types of email autoresponder strategies. You might want to have a more complex automation where, depending on which emails get opened and which links get clicked, different emails get sent out. But for most businesses, a good place to start is just by having a simple autoresponder sequence that goes out. And depending on how complex your product or service or whatever you're offering is, you might want to have more or less emails. But I find that on average, a good place to start is 3 emails that go out over the course of 2 to 7 days. So a more condensed 3 email sequence would be the first email immediately, and then the next one 24 hours later, and then the next one 24 hours after that. So that would take 2 days to send out 3 emails. And you can do that over as much as 5 to 7 days, especially if you're communicating a lot of information, and so they might need time to absorb it. But for most of the stuff that I do, I usually send it over 2 to 5 days so that I keep their attention and make the most of the window of time in which they're paying the most attention to my emails. So we're going to start with a 3 email strategy, and you can write these however you want, of course, but just for the sake of this example, I'm going to suggest that we would go with an AIDA email, and then a POS email, and then another AIDA email. So these are copywriting formulas. AIDA is probably the most popular, and POS is probably one of the next most popular. AIDA stands for attention, interest, desire, action. So you want to hook their attention, you want to build their interest, you want to create desire for your offer, and then you want to use a call to action to get them to learn more or purchase. And PAS stands for problem, agitate, solution. So you're going to present a problem that you think your potential customer has. You're going to agitate by discussing the things that make that problem really significant or really annoying or whatever it is. And then you're going to provide your offer as a solution. And so one way that you could look at writing your 3 email autoresponder sequence would be to start with an AIDA email, and then have a POS email, and then have another AIDA email, and send those over 2 to 7 days. In terms of the email content, I would recommend about 300 to 900 words per email on average. Although again, it really does depend on what you're promoting. And there's a lot of other factors that go into that, but just as a rough guide, I recommend around 300, 900 words per email. And your call to actions in those emails will be 1 to 3 links. Again, there's a lot of different ways that you can approach this, but I usually like to have one main focus for the email that goes to the first link. And then if there's 1 or 2 other links, then those would be alternative paths that they could take or additional materials to help them understand the first link. And usually if I send an email that only has 1 link in it, then I'll include it twice at the beginning and the end of the email, unless it's a really short email. That way they just have multiple opportunities to click on it. And the way that you can understand how effective your email marketing is by looking at your statistics. And for the purpose of understanding how effective your copywriting is, the 3 most important statistics to look at are open rate, click-through rate, and click-to-open rate. So it's open rate, CTR, and CTOR. Now, open rate and click-through rate are pretty self-explanatory. Open rate is the percentage of your list that opens the email. Click-through rate is the percentage of your list that clicks on at least 1 link in the email. And click-to-open rate is the percentage of people who open your email that actually click on something. So it's important to look at both click-through rate and click-to-open rate, because click-through rate is a little bit broader. Your headline to your body content to your calls to action are working, and click-to-open rate is specific to how effective the body content of your email is at getting them to click the calls to action. So if you have a good open rate and a good click-through rate, but your click-to-open rate is low, then that tells you that you probably want to adjust your copywriting and or adjust the way you're using your calls to action. Now, I just looked up on Google what average open rates are, and according to Campaign Monitor, which is a reputable email marketing software, the average open rate across all industries is 21.5%. The average click-through rate is 2.3%, and the average click-to-open rate is 10.5%. Now, I believe that that is over all emails, including both autoresponders and newsletters. And in most cases, the autoresponders are going to be much higher than that, and the newsletters would be around that or maybe a little bit lower on average. So just as a quick example of what that would look like, if you had 1,000 contacts on your email list and you got average at everything, then that would mean you would get about 215 out of that 1,000 people opening your email. You would get about 23 of them to click on a link, and that would give you a click-to-open rate of 10.7%. So that's just about average in all of those areas. But a well-written autoresponder email can do much, much better than that. And I'll show you that in an example of one of my autoresponder lists in just a minute. Now, the 5th step is improve, and this is where you're going to use the analytics of these 3 categories. And you can do that by looking at these statistics and changing different things about your email copy, your headlines, and your calls to action. And the thing about email marketing is that every email list is different, So even though we do have a lot of industry best practices, you really do need to test things in order to figure out what's going to work best. And so I just kind of broke this down into 4 categories quickly, which are storytelling, calls to action, link placement, and number of links. So storytelling is kind of the content of your email. It's how you are relating the offers that you're promoting, why you're promoting them, how it relates to your business, how business started, how your business started, what your values are, all that kind of stuff that's going to make someone understand your offer better, understand why you offer it better, and get a closer connection with your brand factors in here. And if you're not doing a good job of this, then especially in certain industries, it can really turn people off. And so that's something that you always want to be aware of, and it's something that you can work on. When I say CTAs or calls to action in this case, what I specifically mean here is the text that you use as a link. So are you adding the link to a specific word in the body of the email? Are you writing a clear CTA like click here to learn more and then making that a link? Or are you using the raw link like the URL as a link? Depending on what you're linking to and the type of email list, those can have advantages or disadvantages. So if you have, for example, a low CTOR, one thing that you could test is changing from doing a normal text link to doing a full URL link and seeing if that makes more people click on it. And then the last thing to consider is number of links in an email, because if you have like just a ton of links in an email, then it's probably going to be too many. People are going to get overwhelmed. It's going to seem spammy. But if you have 0 links, then obviously they can't click on them. And if you have only 1 link at the beginning of a long email, then the person might finish reading the email and just not click on it. So it might be worth including it again. And so there's always a balance. Generally, I don't want to use links too much. I usually only have 2 to 4 links of any type in a given email, and they will usually only go to 1 to 3 different URLs. So if there's one really important link, I might repeat it at 2 different places and then have 2 other links. And that is the 5-step strategy. So in future videos, I'm going to demonstrate exactly how you can write these types of emails, but I'm going to show how I might look at the analytics in order to figure out how I can change it in order to improve my statistics. So here I am inside GetResponse. GetResponse is the email marketing software that I use. I like it because it integrates with almost everything very easily. It's been around for a long time. It has a pretty good name. So a lot of software just have a native GetResponse integration, which makes it a lot easier to work with different things, like have it embedded on different websites and on my blog and everything. And another great thing about GetResponse is that they don't mind you doing affiliate marketing with email. A lot of email marketing software do not let you send affiliate links or promote affiliate products. They have different types of policies around that type of thing. But GetResponse is mostly okay with it. So I'm a big fan of GetResponse. I've been using it for several years at this point. And it's really my best recommendation if you want to be able to integrate it in different places. But if you want a all-in-one tool that also has email marketing that you can use to do landing pages and just get started really fast with all your tools in one place, then I might recommend checking out System.io. I'll put a link to them in the description as well. It's kind of an all-in-one online business software, and that does include some really good email marketing features, even on their free plan. GetResponse also has a pretty good free plan. So you can check those out and sign up for one or both without having to spend any money. And if you don't already have an email marketing software, you can use those to get started. But anyways, I'm here inside my GetResponse dashboard, and I actually have a bunch of different autoresponder sequences because with my YouTube channel and my blog, I get traffic related to a bunch of different marketing and business topics. And so I like having a variety of different lead magnets to get people to sign up for my list. And then each of those lead magnets, when someone signs up for that list, it triggers a different autoresponder sequence, and then eventually they get segmented into my main list, and I start sending them newsletters. And I chose this one because this is one of the more recent ones that I wrote, and it also features exactly 3 emails. There's a 4th email up here, which I don't think I actually sent this to anyone. I think these were just like me and maybe some friends like testing it. But you don't have to worry about that one. It's turned off, as you can see. But then my 3 autoresponder emails, which go out over 48 hours, are here. You can see it goes out on day 0, which is immediately after they sign up, and then day 1, which is on day 1 of the autoresponder cycle, so 24 hours after they sign up, and then day 2 is 48 hours after they sign up. And immediately you can see right here that my first email has a very good open rate at 85.5% and also a very good click-through rate. And then that drops significantly, but is still far above average for the second email. And then the open rate drops a little bit further, and the click rate actually goes back up a little bit in the third email. So immediately, just from looking at this, I know that I can potentially work on my open rate for both of these, but I also know that I need to work on my click to open rate for this second email, because the third email actually has a higher click-through rate, even though it has a lower open rate, which means that this one's CTOR, or click to open rate, is significantly lower. And so I can just take a quick look at the email here, and I'm going to realize that I only have one link at the very bottom of this email, which could definitely be impacting that, because not everyone is going to read the entire email, and that email was long enough that people on their phone or on a small monitor might actually need to scroll down to see the whole thing. And so if they only read the first half of the email, they're never going to get the link. So I would be wise to put that link somewhere near the beginning of the email and then also have it at the end. And that could potentially bring up my click rate and my click to open rate. So that would be an example of using the number of links and the link placement in the email to try to improve the click rate and the click to open rate. Another thing I could look at is improving my headline and my storytelling. The headline is, of course, going to impact the open rate, and the storytelling is going to help impact the click rate. And I forgot to include headlines here. So yeah, that should have been 5 categories. Obviously, the headline is very, very important. I don't know why I didn't write that in. But I think that I will bring an end to this video now. And now that I've taken a quick look at that, I'm going to go back and actually see how I can apply each of these 5 categories to improve the emails in that autoresponder sequence. And in a month or two, I'll be able to look at how my more recent sends are performing in terms of the analytics compared to the current statistics. And I should be able to learn from that and continue to improve my strategy. All right, remember to subscribe and go to the landing page if you want to join my email list, and I will catch you in the next video.